the Alabama Sports Network with coverage that's everywhere.
And thanks for letting us magically appear on your television screens here on this Tuesday, along with sports analyst John Longshore. I'm Kirk and Nawrotzky, and we're going to start things off with the Auburn Tigers. John, it was a very eventful weekend for them as Nick Marshall was named starting quarterback, as you expected.
Well, I did expect Nick Marshall to end up being the starter at Auburn, Kirk, because he's a junior college quarterback with experience, and he's got a lot of athletic ability. We've certainly heard about his skills from some Auburn assistant coaches, of course, his time at junior college. So I think they made the right choice here. What I do also find interesting, though, Kirk, is how the backup role will fill out. It looks like Jonathan Wallace might be in that position with Jeremy Johnson, maybe in that third spot, hopefully trying to redshirt Jeremy Johnson. That's something we touched on the preseason blitz over the weekend. I think Jeremy Johnson needs to get a little bit more experience, get some better pieces around him for the future of Auburn football.
Yeah, Johnson, of course, and Malzahn, they're all looking forward to what the future will bring, but right now the focus is on this season. There was some other news coming out of Auburn as well, as safety Demetrius McNeil was dismissed from the team after possession of marijuana charge. John, it seems like Malzahn is sending a strong message here to his team.
Kirk, you're exactly right. I mean, there was no playing around here. The minute that Gus Malzahn found out about this issue, talked with the player, and it was over and done with. That sends a very strong message to this Auburn football team, Kirk, because under Gene Chizik, that was not always the case. I think there was a lot of guys running amok, doing what they wanted to, a loose football team. That translated into the downfall of Gene Chizik. Gus Malzahn's putting his foot down early, setting the tone. I think it's a great move.
Another man that always puts his foot down is, of course, up in Tuscaloosa, and Alabama head coach Nick Saban. Over the years, they had a little bit of a surprise this weekend. Not a lot of people expected Geno Smith, the sophomore, to get arrested for a DUI charge. And I tell you what, John, I don't think Nick Saban is happy about that at all.
Well, wouldn't you hate to be the guy that's got to call up Nick Saban at 4 o'clock in the morning to tell him one of his football players has gotten in trouble? $1,000 bond. We're still awaiting to see what the future of Geno Smith will be. There are no indications that alcohol was in the car with Smith, but certainly, Kirk, when you get behind the wheel of an automobile and you've had too much to drink, that's not good news. Be interesting to see how Coach Saban disciplines Geno Smith.
Yeah, now Saban is not a big fan of preseason polls, but they are number one in the AP poll, John. It seems like that was the true testament, and they should be number one.
Well, I think they should be. I mean, I've always been a proponent of, hey, if you finish number one, you should start number one until somebody knocks you out. So Alabama loaded in so many skill positions. I think the starters are set. Now it's the 2 and 3 deep depth chart is what they're working on. And, Kirk, I'm hearing D. Hart, a guy that caused a lot of noise as a recruit, has really had an incredible fall camp. Look for him to be in that rotation at running back.
A lot to look forward to this football season. Guys, let's go back on over to you.